Hi, hello dear students. Today we are going to read a short story by Gracie, Orotha and the Goose. And here we will have some real-time goose also. Now looking at the author, Gracie was born in the village of Maradi in Ernakulam district. She was teaching in a college in Alva for about 25 years after acquiring an MA in Malayalam. And Gracie's first story was published in 1972. You can also take your textbook. And here she is someone who writes from her mind what all things in a colloquial language about feminism or about women, and also the day-to-day mundane activities of a woman. Even the patriarchal society, they see the work of a woman as secondary, or they say that a woman has no work at home, whereas she tried to establish the works done by the woman. So we can see that in her stories there is a strong feminist streak running, and it is the uniqueness of women's lived experience that forms the core of her fiction. The women in her stories are not just stereotypes, but one that is endowed with indefinable qualities. So we feel when we are reading her stories, we feel that we are entering a magical world. Her language, imagery, and narrative style all corroborate the feeling. Her stories also show how women are terrorized and persecuted in public places. The first collection of stories is Padiyarangipoya Parvati, that was published in 1991. And then she published a few more collections like Naragavadal, Bhrandan Pookal in 1996, Rendu Swapnadarshikal in 1999, Kaveriyude Katha 2001, Gracie'ude Kathagal 2005, AU Pen Kathagal 2002. Her short stories have been translated into English, Hindi, Tamil and Oriya. And she was also recipient of many awards, as you can see over there. Her awards include the Lalitambika Antarajanam Award in 1995, the Topil Devi Award 97, the Kada Prize for the Best Malayalam Story 98, and the Kerala Sahitya Academy Award in 2000. Now this particular story, Orodhayam Predangalam, Orotha and the Ghost, is a story that provides a hint of the magical atmosphere that pervades Gracie's fiction. It is indicative of her interest in ghosts and spirits, some of whom are more human than human beings themselves. Ghosts in Gracie's stories are not supernatural creatures, but are normal beings that we will understand when we read the story. They are just normal beings themselves. They have a they are not just ghosts who or spirits who just terrify the people, but they have the feelings and emotions of human beings. The ghosts here are subject to the same emotions as humans are and are controlled by the sentiments of fear, love, greed, and hatred. Now we will move on to the story. Now this is another translation. Your textbook has another translation. No problem. The thing is, you will only have to understand what the story is. Now, Orotha and the Spirits. As Orotha lit the coconut front torch and stepped out into the air, Pennamachetati asked once again, "Are you sure you want to leave at this time of the night? You have neither chick nor child at home. Can't you sleep here for today?" Moonlight beamed on Orotha's lips as she stepped out into the darkness. So you got an idea who is Orotha. She is working in Pennamachetati's house, Pennamachechi's house, and Pennamachechi um, asked her to sleep there in the night because it is night and she has to go home all alone. But she said, moonlight beamed on Orotha's lips as she stepped out into the darkness. "He is so scared to sleep alone. Besides, I am all sweaty. Should bathe and change before I sleep. So I want to change the chatta and munda. And my husband is he is very he doesn't sleep alone. He is very much afraid of the dark. So I have to go home, even though Panamachechi says you don't have any child at home." Yes, even though she doesn't have any child, she has to go home because her husband doesn't like sleeping alone, or he is afraid to sleep alone. Usually, she finishes her work and starts home before dusk, before evening. But today, when she was about to leave, Pennamachi's daughter and his son-in-law arrived from Cochin. Then she had to catch a roasting chicken and make curry. Pennamachichi gave her 2 pieces of chicken and she was taking that home. He's crazy about meat. Talking about her husband. He's crazy about me. And here there is an ironical tone of meat. Meat can either mean the chicken or it can also mean the flesh of the woman. Seeing his greed, she would blurt. Blurt means say without thinking. God, at this rate you will eat me too. Didn't I marry you for your flesh? He would say. It feels so good to hear him say that. His face all lit like a torch that flashes at a touch. He will then cast a suggestive glance at her breast and wink. She has not yet lost form. At that her heart would puff up with sorrow. Isn't it because she has neither given birth nor breastfed? A sigh would escape her. Promptly he would start philosophizing. Why have children, my dear Orotha? The only good is that we can toil eternally and make our lives hellish. When they are big enough to spread wings, they will fly off. That's it. Think of us, what do we lack? We work hard and live happily. When we can no longer do that, we will live together. Oh, as if it is all for us to decide, Orotha would twitch her lips. So her husband, they don't have any children, and her husband loves her, and he has a craving for her. And Orotha is very much sad of not having children, but he says they will leave us. So here the you can see the sexual desire of her husband. Anyway, Orotha is walking. She's thinking of all these things while she is walking home. I know what to do, my woman. I am really scared to lie under the earth without you. Orotha laughed at the thought. So he tells Orotha that I don't want to lie under the earth without you. Even I am afraid there also. So be with me there. Someone behind echoed her laugh. Without turning back, Orotha whooshed. Whooshed means move quickly or suddenly with a rushing sound. Her torch backwards and set furiously. So the torch is a coconut front torch. What is that coconut front torch? Chutana. So she whooshed it. Someone was laughing behind her. She didn't look back. We always say, no, never look back when you hear a sound. Get away, spirit, don't you play with me. I have heard on a night like this, you have taken my mother-in-law for a ride, but this is Orotha. Orotha is never afraid of any ghosts or spirits. And she says that don't play any prank on me. A waft of wind whistled past her with a deafening sound. Her house was beyond the cashew grove. Many people had hanged themselves to death there, as the honors were avidly opened without a fence or trim. Anyone could simply walk in and hang. So she had to go through a cashew grove, and so many people have died in that particular grove. അത് ആ ഒരു പറമ്പില് അല്ലേ കാഷ്യൂ ഗ്രോ കശുവണ്ടിയുടെ ഒരു പറമ്പിൽ അവിടെ ഒത്തിരി പേര് തൂങ്ങി മരിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. So but Orotha is not at all afraid of any spirits or anything. The wind passed through her here, but she walked fastly. Orotha swung the torch vigorously and entered the cashew grove. The gust had heralded her grinned widely, shaking the cashew tree on which blacksmith Itaman hung himself. Before the chuckle died away, Itaman called out from the treetop, Orotha, give me a chicken piece. Orotha got wild. So she first reached the tree where Itaman, the blacksmith, has committed suicide, and he asked for a chicken piece in her hand that Pannamachetati has given her. Shame on you, you lazy bone. If your woman gave all she cooked to that other man, it's simply because you are no good. Will any idiot hang himself because his wife ran off with somebody. Itamen became silent on the train. So she just cursed Itamen, asking him why you took away your life just because your wife cheated on you. And then the next spirit is coming. The breeze left Itaman's tree, leaped before her, and woke up the ghost of Kanyati Shanta. Orotha Chetati, Orotha sister, I am with child. Give me a chicken, please. Orotha replied softly, my dear child, why didn't you fall for someone else? Your father's elder brother's son is your own brother, isn't he? The pregnant goose hung on a low branch and lost itself in forbidden memories. So another came, a pregnant spirit came. She said, I am with a child, give me some chicken. You became pregnant with your own brother. How can you do that? And that particular uh, spirit, that is Kanyanti Shanta, she suicides because she became pregnant from her own brother. So her own uncle's son. That so that when Orotha curses her, she also leaves the place. Orotha bent on frightening Orotha, the wind shot past again. It rose up one-handed Auda and whispered something in his ears. Before Auda could ask anything, Orotha said, Auda, you're a real smart guy. In one night and with just one hand, haven't you stolen 20 sacks of pepper from the upper story of the big house? That's neat work. But hanging yourself when caught and charged, that was silly. So you can take 20 sacks of pepper from the go down, the upper story of big house, but when it was caught, you just hanged yourself, and that was silly. Orotha also felt embarrassed. It hung staring at the sky with bulged out eyes. When the wind screeched forward again to leap up the next cashew tree, Orotha said, why bother? Go to hell, spirit. See, I am right before my house. At the sound of her footsteps in the courtyard, her husband's voice came trembling. Who is that? Orotha bent down and put out the torch. Wiping the sweat off her face and neck with the tip of her dhoti, she stood up. Oh, it's me, man. Open the door. So you can see the character Orotha. She is not at all afraid of the ghosts. And we can see powerful women and Gracie stories who are fighting against patriarchal society and also the make-believes or superstitions. So that was the story all about. Hope you all like the story. Read the story in the text once more and then you can do as the instructions say. Thank you.